home for the NFL.
Coming up on NFL Live as we move closer and closer to Super Sunday, is Dwight Freeney getting healthier and healthier for Indy? We've got an update for you. Drew Brees against Peyton Manning. Is this potentially the best quarterback matchup ever on a Super Sunday? And our Chris Carter tells us the big mismatch the Saints may have come game time. NFL Live has it all.
Welcome to a special Super Bowl edition of NFL Live, presented by Pizza Hut.
There are 26 miles of beach here in Dade County, Florida, and I have personally walked every single foot of it, just to count it for you, the viewer. As we continue here on South Beach, good news if you're an Indianapolis fan, things are looking up for Dwight Freeney. The All-Pro DN for the Colts says the pain in his ankle is subsiding. He's still holding out hope that he will play Sunday against the Saints. Freeney, of course, dealing with that torn ligament in his right ankle he suffered in the AFC title game.
Today is a lot better than yesterday. I mean, I'm putting a little bit more weight on it. You know, it's moving in the right direction. I know I'm not taking any steps backwards, and I know from a standpoint it's not being stagnant. So I'm moving in the right direction. The question is, will I be ready for the game? You know, that's going to be, who knows? I might know that Friday or Saturday.
And with that, we welcome you into this edition of NFL Live. So glad you are here with us as we continue to count down the days to Super Bowl 44. Trey Wingo is here. Chris Carter is with us. Merrill Hodge is with us as well, as is Chris Mortensen. Mort, let's start with you. Freeney seems a little more optimistic and upbeat than he has been in the last couple of days talking about that ankle. What are you hearing?
I think he's being pretty transparent. That, you know, he's using something called the ACH machine. It's a Russian stem machine. Kind of reverses the traditional process in which they flush the bad blood out, flushes good blood in, gets that swelling down. Notice when he was walking on media day on Tuesday, he had no walking boot on, no compression sock. They want it to remain flexible so that if and when he is ready to go, there's no other stiffness in any other joint in that foot. So I sense a little bit more optimism as we get closer, even though we certainly would expect him to be limited basis in terms of how many plays he plays.
Obviously, he's feeling optimistic, but you're also hearing it from the team and their medical people that they're feeling more optimistic?
I haven't talked to their medical people. I've heard it from the team a little bit. And, you know, they called Freeney Doc Freeney. He's that much on top of the medical cutting-edge stuff, even though Dr. Kaplan said no Star Trek device is going to heal a torn ligament in 2 weeks' time.
Well, listen, what may not have Star Trek equipment, but he's got that whatever you
ACH machine.
The ACH machine. We could all use an ACH machine to help us feel a little better. Now, if Dwight Freeney can't play, or if he's limited, probably the happiest guy on the planet is Saints quarterback Drew Brees, because he knows what Freeney can bring. And Brees in many ways embodies not only the rise of the Saints, but the rise of the city of New Orleans. And ever since he got there, one of Brees' biggest inspirations has been the man he'll have to beat on Super Sunday, Colts quarterback and New Orleans native Peyton Manning. But their relationship actually goes back to when Drew was slinging it at Purdue.
One time specifically, we had to come back and we came back and beat Ohio State my senior year, and sure enough, after the game, I have a message on my phone from Peyton, you know, saying, "Hey, I had a chance to watch the game. Really happy for you. Way to battle." And you know, for a young college player, and here's Peyton Manning, you know, second, third year in the league, already kind of coming into his own, Pro Bowl player, one of the best in the league. For him to kind of reach out to me like that, you know, meant a lot to me as a young player. And you know, who would have thought 10 years from now, or 10 years from then, you know, we'd be sitting here playing in a Super Bowl against one another.
Kind of interesting they have that connection, and he's playing against for the team where Peyton grew up, the New Orleans Saints. And there's also this connection. Drew almost ended up calling Miami his football home before he signed with the Saints prior to the 06 season. And all he's done under head coach Sean Payton is throw for at least 4,300 yards and at least 26 touchdown passes in each of his seasons in the Bayou. Now, Saints wideout Marcus Colston hasn't really caught on fire yet this postseason. In 2 games, 8 catches, 105 yards, 1 touchdown. But come Sunday, he could have a big advantage. And for that, we head out to the demo field and our Chris Carter.
Thanks, Trey. One thing, guys, I want to look at is Drew Brees' ability to throw the ball between the hash marks, which I believe puts him in the exceptional category as far as NFL quarterbacks. Right here at regular pro, 3 receivers set to the left. Drew Brees typically is going to look to safety to the right, wants to throw the ball deep down the football field. You see him here against Colston, his favorite target, back shoulder throw. He's not open here, but Drew Brees, this is a Drew Brees special, throws the wide receiver open. DB decides to change technique. Think you're going to fool Drew Brees? Absolutely not. Outside shoulder, Drew Brees leads the wide receiver where? Inside, the only place his wide receiver can catch it. Now this is one thing you got to watch against the Colts. Down the middle, throwing the ball right over top of the linebackers. All their linebackers are on the smallest side, so look for Drew Brees to analyze that and take advantage of it. His ability, guys, to throw the ball between the hashes is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter who they use. We saw Shockey right there. Colston will be there. Whatever matchup they like, he's going to be lining up right here down the hash.
We're going to do a little demo here. Mort, you're going to be Drew Breezy.
Right.
Drew Breezy for me. Haji, you're going to be a DB here. We're going to change up a couple different looks here. Colston in the slot, for the most part, they're going to play him man-to-man. As he comes down the slot, Haji gets the jam on him. Oh, he's not open. Back shoulder throw. Even Haji didn't even see that one coming. Oh, Mort, I like it. I didn't even know you had this kind of talent.
A little bit.
So they change up the coverage, try to play an outside shoulder technique. Colston will come up on him, still trying to get deep in the seam. Hit him to the outside a little bit, and Mortimer, oh, I got you covered. Don't worry.
I know you do. I know who I'm throwing to.
Now, Drew Brees, guys, and his ability at a little bit over 6 foot to throw the ball effectively down the middle of the football field, I believe puts him in the elite category as far as quarterbacks.
And actually, Sean Payton does a great job of helping him, too. When you think about the NFL, it's all about matchups. And they do the best job in football creating what we call the jerk route. That means like Chris Carter on Mortensen in the middle of the field. Chris makes Mort look like a jerk because he beats him so bad. It's wide receiver on linebacker.
And one thing an NFL defensive coordinator told me is that nobody creates space faster for himself than Drew Brees to compensate for that 6 foot height.
Good stuff, brother.
That was good stuff. Still ahead, if half of success is just showing up, Peyton Manning will continue to be very, very successful. We've got Colts soundtracks coming up as well. And 2 years ago today, Plaxico Burress caught the Super Bowl winning touchdown pass for the Giants. Now he's behind bars. Will he ever play again? Hear what he has to say. We continue here from South Beach. Boats are out there on the water. We're steamrolling and sailing toward Super Sunday.
Kevin, don't do that, man. Come on.
I got this. I got this.
Screw up your hand, man.
Turn it up. Turn it up.
You're too close. This thing's gonna crush you.
No way, Kevin. Are you crazy? Maybe. Do it. Or maybe I'm something else.
No way.
NFL on ESPN America.
Well, Peyton Manning may have been at his absolute best in the AFC title game against the Jets, against the #1 defense, 3 touchdown passes, no picks, 377 yards. So what to expect Super Sunday against the Saints? Well, he's going to show up like he always does. Here's Susie Colbert.
With all the talk about the Saints' aggressive defense delivering remember me shots on Peyton Manning, let's not forget Manning's memorable durability. 192 straight starts, the second longest streak ever for a quarterback.
I will say it does mean a lot to me because it's important for me to be there for my teammates on Sunday. So that is one, I guess if you want to call it an individual statistic that does mean something to me, because it's about how you're being there for the team.
And our ability to adjust on the fly, the way he's audibling at the line, and the way we can change protections, virtually seconds before the snap to get us pointed in the right direction. So most of the time we kind of eliminate the possibility of him getting hit because he understands who's coming and who's going to be applying the pressure.
Manning's impressive stats go beyond starts. Since Peyton came into the league in 1998, he's taken nearly 97% of the Colts snaps.
I don't think he has pride about silly numbers. Like his completion percentage isn't a huge concern. He's not scared to throw the ball away. He's not scared to take a sack and get down and not take shots unnecessarily.
He is so good at recognizing defenses that he gets the ball out of his hands quickly. And then you couple that with a very quick release. I think that's a pretty good combination for staying rather healthy through the years.
Manning recalled the one time he came out for just one play in his entire career because of injury. 2001, in the middle of a close game with the Dolphins. A blow to his face broke his jaw. The backup quarterback fumbled the handoff, and the Colts went on to lose. 9 years later, Peyton said he still holds it against himself for coming out for that one play. With the Colts, Susie Culver, ESPN.
Susie, thank you. Broken jaw, it's okay to miss a play. Merrill, Saints defensive coordinator Greg Williams has made it pretty clear. They're going to bring the heat. They're going to come after him like they did against Arizona, like they did against Brett Favre in Minnesota. But how should they attack Peyton Manning?
And that's a really good point, and that's the key, I think. When you look at Greg Williams, kind of the history of Greg Williams against Peyton Manning, there's one thing that's been very consistent. His pressures and the foundation of them are in the A-gap. That means right in the face of Peyton Manning on either side of Jeff Saturday, the center. But get that quick pressure. And then one other pressure. Pressure on the outside at the wide receivers, the press coverage on the outside. The combination has to exist. It has to work together, and when it does, it's a beautiful thing. Here's the A-gap pressure I'm talking about. Not a lot of people. And then press on the outside, man-to-man, tight coverage, so that Peyton, when he gets rid of the football, you have an opportunity to intercept him. And if you can get a pick six, that would be huge in the Super Bowl. At the end of the day, when you do this, it does have to be fairly consistent throughout the course of the game. But those two things must exist. Pressure in the middle, pressure on the perimeter, and then understanding what Peyton is all about as a quarterback. When you think of how he throws, and Chris and Trey, he is a short ball thrower first, then a deep ball thrower, and you must understand that is his mentality. That's why those quick pressures and man on the outside and that pressure are so important in this game.
Well, we certainly saw that as Rasheed Mathis took that one back to the house in a 2008 game there. And it makes sense. Chris, when you see this matchup, do the Saints have the ability to do that pressure sent from both spots there?
Well, the Saints have that ability through Greg Williams. He can come up with any type of scheme. People don't, I think they're underestimating that Greg Williams has faced Peyton Manning a number of times. But what they're underestimating is for one time he has an offense that can be productive and score a bunch of points. So even if his defense makes mistakes, which the other defenses, when he was defending Peyton Manning, he didn't have that luxury. This time he has the ability, if they do make a mistake, that he's going to be able to score some points with that Saints offense, but look for him to come through those A-gaps, instant pressure Peyton Manning right through the middle.
Yeah, everybody wants to do that, but it's just not that easy against the Colts. Peyton was only sacked 10 times. The Saints on the year had 35 sacks, which is tied for 13th. Now on ESPN.com, Kevin Seifert explains how the Saints defensive scheme has given safety Darren Sharper not a second, but a third life in the NFL. And, of course, Darren Sharper will be going up against Peyton Manning, not Eli Manning, as he said earlier this season, or earlier this week, because Peyton made the mistake of calling Darren Jamie. Now that we've got the first name straightened out, here's what you really need to know about what the Colts have done so far this season. They lost their head coach. They had massive changes on the coaching staff. Anthony Gonzalez, Peyton Manning's slot receiver, went down week 1, didn't play again for the rest of the year. And with a rookie wide receiver from BYU and a second-year player from Mount Union, Peyton Manning and company reeled off 14 straight wins. The 7th straight season they've had at least 12, adding to their own NFL record. That's why they're here Super Sunday. A look back now at the sounds of the season for the Indianapolis Colts.
Hey, man, we know this is the truth, bro. We run the ball and protect them. We're going to have a big day.
We're down 3. 1, 2, 3, win. The ball is loose. A fumble. The ball is loose. The Colts have it.
Nice work. On the ball, they're crazy.
Heck of a win. Great job of getting 5-0.
Intended for Dallas. Clark, he's got it. Touchdown.
Those guys were scared of you running right there. We got a big game ahead of us next week. We got to have everybody ready to go, no exceptions.
Ants versus Colts, let's do it.
Throws to Reggie. Touchdown. Reggie Wayne.
No quitting this team like champions.
We ain't playing today. This ain't the regular season. It's the playoffs.
This is the first time that the Colts have played a playoff game here.
The word is your bond. And I want all three of y'all to tell me they will not run this ball today. I want you to tell me that.
They will not run the ball.
Lock it up, lock it up.
Gives it to Ray Rice. Breaks off the tackle. Open. Oh! The Colts chasing it over, and they got it.
Took one step. Now we got to get ready to take the next one.
One game away from the Super Bowl. We ain't going to be denied.
Come on, Peyton, go to work. He stays in, throws down the middle. Touchdown, Austin College!
That's why that point is the best.
Looks, throws upfield. Dallas, touchdown!
See, verse 2. Let me stay with me.
And for the second time in 4 years, the Colts are headed to the Super Bowl.
I mean, that was a great job of one mind, one heart. Now, we got one more left, right? Got one more.
Still ahead on this NFL Live, Peyton Manning has been money, but wait till you hear the amount of money that might be coming his way. We've got the latest on that. And the name of this script in the rundown was called The Miami Scenic. Let me just say, we had many to choose from as we continue to roll on.
Need to find tickets for the big game or concert? At SeatWave.com, there are over 1 million tickets on sale now for all the latest live entertainment. And with all tickets 100% guaranteed, you'll find just the tickets you're after so you can catch all the action live. Buy and sell tickets at SeatWave.com for the Super Bowl, Six Nations Rugby, Bon Jovi in concert, and many, many more. SeatWave.com, the fan-to-fan ticket exchange.
See those guys over there? They're always trying to tackle me. They think they know all my moves. Come on.
Whoa. Get out of it, man. Can't believe you just did that.
Think again. Pick me.
Did you just run up us?
February on ESPN Classic. We bring you a brand new series featuring the moments that made the Reds one of the most successful clubs in English football history.
And he scored!
In Liverpool Classics. Also in February, the Doctor's in the house for his very own birthday bonanza. We give MotoGP's top consultant the special treatment and bring you the races that made him a legend.
Side by side, Valentino Rossi wins the race.
And with Vancouver on everyone's mind, we then take you snowbound with arguably some of the best Winter Olympic moments ever. Making this an unmissable month on ESPN Classic.
ESPN, as you said, on Super Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Boomer and the gang on Sunday NFL Countdown for 4 hours of pregame Super Bowl coverage. And then at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, catch NFL Primetime. Find out who won and why. Sunday NFL Countdown presented by IBM. Primetime presented by E-Trade on Sunday. Speaking of Super Sunday, it was 2 years ago Wednesday. Plexico Burress caught this game-winning touchdown pass from Eli Manning to beat the Patriots Super Bowl 42. Only loss all year for New England. Sorry to our own Teddy Bruschi. Now, of course, Plexico behind bars, serving time for gun charges in New York. In an interview with CBS on NFL Today, Plexico vowed he would continue his career when he's released from prison, telling Bill Cowher, "I will play again. I work out about 4 days a week. It's not LA Fitness or Bally's, but I do push-ups, sit-ups. I make do." All right, honestly, fame is fleeting. As you just remember, 2 years ago he was on top of the world, and now he's in prison. Chris Mortensen back with us. Mort, he says he'll play again. Do you think he will?
Well, listen, the way the calendar is working, it looks like he's going to be 34 years old when he gets out of jail. Now, the bottom line is there are guys like Terrell Owens who are playing at this age and playing at a high level. It's a very gifted guy, and I think I have spoken to at least two general managers who said, look, we'll just monitor, see where he's at both mentally and physically. And yes, we would consider such a talented guy. And of course, I always would say, you know, he started his career with the Pittsburgh Steelers with Bill Cowher. He got cut by Bill Cowher, where he ended up going to the Giants. But if Bill Cowher is interviewing him in this particular set, I would say that if Bill comes back in the league, he just might give Plexico another chance.
And then, of course, is the overriding issue whether or not there will be a 2011 season, which is a whole nother discussion. Okay, let's go from one receiver to another. Wes Welker blew out his knee the last game of the regular season against the Texans. What can you tell us about the Patriots' surgery?
Well, he finally had the surgery to repair the MCL and ACL on that knee. And some people will say, why did they wait so long? What they did, they allowed that MCL to calm down, do some healing, and that will accelerate the process for both the ACL and MCLs going forward. Now, it's normally about a 9 to 12-month recovery. Well, it's the 1st of February. 9 months puts you 1 month into the 2010 season, right?
Right.
So I think that's probably realistically what you're looking at, but everybody's different. But they do have Julian Edelman to hold him over until Wes comes back. And they do think he'll be back this year.
Again, Wes Welker, the only player in NFL history, 3 straight seasons with at least 110 catches. Michael Vick likes to throw the ball instead of catch it, although he did a little bit of both in Philadelphia. What are you hearing about where the quarterback might end up playing this coming season?
Yeah, and checking out a report that, in fact, the Eagles have decided that Michael Vick is definitely coming back in 2010. I was told today that the Eagles intend to bring him back and intend to pay him a bonus on March 5th of $1.5 million. But the sense I got was that that was just the start of the poker game, the first chips in the pot, so to speak, because I believe the Eagles are going to listen to offers for all 3 quarterbacks, Donovan McNabb, Kevin Cobb, and Michael Vick. And the one that would bring real value would probably be McNabb. But they'll listen. But right now they're prepared to go forward with Michael Vick. I do think it's a poker game, but if you're going to pay him $1.5 million, chances are he'll be on the roster come September, and then he would make $5 million in total this year.
Speaking of quarterbacks with value, there's a couple playing on Super Bowl Sunday, including Peyton Manning. Jim Irsay has already said it's the biggest no-brainer in sports. We're going to extend his contract. What are you hearing about when it might get done and what it might take to get it done?
This is the Jim Irsay stimulus package for the Peyton Manning, okay? That's what this is. Jim Irsay on Tuesday said, yes, Peyton Manning will be the highest paid player in the game. And that's great news for his agent, Tom Condon. Not so good news for Bill Polian and the Colts negotiators. And yes, Eli Manning, I think technically is the highest paid by average at $16.5 million per year. Think about this. This is where that number is going to come in at. I guarantee you, at least $20 million per year. We'll have our first $20 million per year player when Peyton Manning gets this deal done.
So in other words, Eli won't even be the highest paid quarterback anymore. He also won't be the highest paid Manning anymore.
No, but Cooper's smiling. That's the other brother, you know.
Everybody's good. Everybody's good at this point. It'll be a 2-point takedown for Peyton when this contract gets done. Mort, as always, we appreciate it. Lots more coming here on NFL Live, including this question. If Championship Sunday was all about the Pierres, will Super Sunday be all about the Reggies?
Starward Preferred Guest presents a spectacular winter promotion offering up to 40% off at participating hotels across Europe, Africa, and the Middle East when paying with your MasterCard. Enjoy your stay at Sheraton, 4 Points by Sheraton, W, Aloft, Le Méridien, Westin, the Luxury Collection, and St. Regis. Book now and pay with your MasterCard. More details on spg.com/MasterCardTV.
Well, it's where every team wanted to end the season, and it's where the Super Bowl will be played, where the Saints and Colts will finish it off. Super Bowl 44 at newly renamed Sun Life Stadium. As we get set to wrap up this edition here of NFL Live, we're on the demo field. I have in my hands the questions. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
You guys ready? All right, hurry up offense right now. That was lukewarm. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's early in the week.
Okay, which Reggie's going to have a better Super Bowl? Bush for the Saints, Wayne for the Colts?
I'm going Reggie Wayne. Reggie Wayne is the best route runner in the National Football League. I expect Reggie Bush to have an impact on the game. Garcon and them going to get a little more attention, so Reggie Wayne comes up big. He's back at the crib. He's from the U.
That's correct.
Reggie Wayne, 5 or 6 touches. Reggie Bush, probably 20. Special teams hand the ball on the perimeter, passing, running. Reggie Bush.
I think I go with Chris. It is all about the you.
Did we
down
ask
here? No, you didn't, but I'm asking the question.
He's an expert.
The last question is going to be where the rest of that tie
I'm
went.
going to tell you. I
Which
got a half
Pierre is
off.
going to have, well, you got a half a tie. Which Pierre is going to have a better Super Sunday? Garcon for the Colts or Thomas for the Saints?
Go ahead.
I don't think people realize that the Saints are 6th in the National Football League as far as rushing yards per game. It's going to be Thomas. He's going to touch the ball 15 times.
Reggie Wayne doubled. Pierre Garcon single. We saw what happened last time. That's a deadly combination. Pierre Garcon.
Give me the biggest mismatch in Super Bowl 44 out of all of them. Which one is it?
The biggest mismatch? Man, that's a good question. I would say the corners in man-to-man coverage against the Saints receivers.
This goes down into the trenches, brother.
Yeah,
Saints
where?
and their tackles, both sides. Not just the left, both sides. It doesn't matter if Dwight Freeney doesn't play.
We're here in South Beach. We're enjoying it. We hope you're enjoying it well. Come be part of the party.
Holla at your boy.
Got that good Stiller well out here. Just that perfect temperature. It's gonna hurt just enough when you hit somebody. Got a little extra sting.
Green Bay and Pittsburgh played little defense in Week 15. Instead,